Boys, what is going on? Willie here, super excited to bring you today's video, which is going to be the 9.9 changes to Udyr. Patch 9.9 hit, and arguably the biggest change on the patch is the fact that the crabs are now spawning at 3 minutes and 15 seconds instead of 2 minutes. Now, this has a lot of implications for the jungle. Specifically, the clear paths that everybody had been using in previous patches are now all suboptimal. And so I've got a lot of people asking me, Willie, what are you doing to, most optimally clear your jungle? What's the best start? What's the best build path? What are you doing different this patch than last patch? And today I'm going to give you a short little video that is going to answer all those questions. So without further ado, let me go and hop in and show you the runes that we're taking. I do want to address very briefly here, Celerity did just get buffed. I have played with the new Celerity. I tested it on PvE. I think Celerity is still really bad, and especially after the crab nerfs, whenever you go Celerity, you usually go Celerity water walking. I think that is very suboptimal right now because water walking is not as valuable now that crabs have a delayed spawn. So with that being said, I don't think the sorcery tree is optimal on Udyr, and I even before the changes, I was taking the inspiration tree secondary and going to magical footwear. I was on that bandwagon, but now that they've nerfed magical footwear, they've nerfed Celerity water walking. I think the best secondary tree is domination tree actually, and we are going to be running Ravenous Hunter and Eyeball Collection. You can sub out Eyeball Collection for Zombie Ward if you like. However, I've found in lolWillieP usually, the 10 takedowns come before the 10 words. You think I'm kidding, but nobody in lolWillieP words, so it's very hard to get Zombie Ward stacked at lolWillieP. At high elo, however, I think Zombie Ward is really, really good. But you can sub out Zombie Ward for Eyeball Collection, and then Ravenous Hunter, I am going to have a lot of people probably in the comment section that's going to be like, Willie, what about Relentless Hunter? I think that Ravenous Hunter is broken, okay? I think Relentless Hunter is a good option if you want to go it, but I can just tell you based off the amount of 1v1s that I've won that I shouldn't have won, the amount of healing you get when you do Barons and Dragons, the sustain in the jungle, I think Ravenous Hunter is really, really broken right now. I would not be surprised if they nerfed it in the next couple patches, because this rune is insane. So this is the rune setup I'm taking: Triumph, or Press the Attack, Triumph, Legend Alacrity. I am no longer running Legend Tenacity, and I'll explain why in a second, but basically it's because we're building Tiamat every single game, and Alacrity with Tiamat means you're going to outfarm everybody. We're still going Coup de Grace, and then like I said, Ravenous Hunter, Eyeball Collection. Now the minor runes we also have changed: attack damage, armor. The reason why we're doing that is because at level 2, if you have a Tiger Dot, a normal auto attack, and a red buff, you can kill both the little raptors and the little wolves in 2 auto attacks, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. But you have to take double adaptive force minor runes. You cannot do it with the attack speed, and I do think it's worth trading off the attack speed for attack damage to get a quicker level 3, because as you know, jungle is very tempo based. So this is the clear path I've been spamming. Obviously, it's going to look a little scuffed because we're in a practice tool and I'm not getting a leash, but I'm starting red buff pretty much every single game. We're doing red. As you do red, kite it towards the I don't know what this bush is called. Raptor bush? I don't know, but kite it towards Raptor bush. Take turtle at level 2. We're no longer taking bear at level 2 because there's no reason to, since crabs are not spawned. So we're back to taking turtle at level 2. And once again, it's a normal auto attack and 1 Tiger Dot, and that'll finish off the 2 little wolves. So you can kill the 2 little wolves. Same with the little chickens. You can kill them in 2 auto attacks. And then as you do the blue buff, kite it out. Once you get to blue, you want to start cycling turtle because you're going to get mana back from the blue buff, obviously, after you take it. So kite it out. You want to get it towards the grump, and then like I said, just constantly cycle turtle to not only get health back, but also keep your passive stacked. We're going to smite Gromp because Gromp does a lot of health, and then after you do Gromp, we're going to move out in the river. You're going to hit level 3 with, I think, like 0 experience, 1% experience to spare. It is a super efficient clear path, and then from here, you're going to move out in river. Now, you're going to have about 30 seconds to 40 seconds before crab is going to spawn, so what you can do in this time is you can move into the enemy jungle. You can drop a ward here. You can check on his red buff. Alternatively, you could have walked up through here, gone and take his Krug camp. I can't tell you how many times I've done red this clear path and then gone and taken Krugs and then come back for the crab. I will say another thing that has changed between last patch and this patch is don't use your early trinket level 1 on Pixel Bush wards. We instead are going to wait until about 2:45, and we're going to drop it at one of the entrances of the jungle, either right here or right here, depending on which crab you're going for, and then we're going to try and secure this crab. Now, I will say one of the best things you can do after you do the start is try to get a gank off mid. If your mid laner is shoved in and you go through river, gank mid and get this gank off, this means that your laner is going to have priority, which means you're going to be able to get this crab, walk through mid, and get the other crab. If you get a double crab, and then after you get the double crab, curl back into your jungle, you'll be level 5 if you do your 2 bot side camps at like 4 minutes and 10 seconds. I know this is a lot of information, but I'm telling you, this is the best clear path right now. It is the most efficient clear path, especially on Udyr. You know, there's probably better clear paths on other champions, but for Udyr, I have tested extensively all the clear paths from Red Krugs. I've even tested Tiger Phoenix starts. I think this is just the best way to play him right now. Now let's talk about build a little bit. Let me give myself a little bit of gold. Build is kind of the same as always. I will say Tiamat is insanely strong right now, and I'm going to explain why. Tiamat has always been good on Udyr, but now that crabs have a delayed spawn, it means you're going to have a safer early game. Tiamat was very dicey in the last patch because if you didn't win that level 2 crab fight, usually you couldn't go Tiamat every single game. But now that we're going to have more of a stable early game, and you know there's not going to be a whole lot of crazy stuff going on pre 3 minutes, I think that Tiamat is extremely easy to get right now. So we're going to get Tiamat on the first back, and then after you get your Tiamat, just look to power farm, look to control crabs, and then we're going to upgrade into red or blue smite. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to be honest, I've actually started going red smite in my challenger games. I think now that, you know, the spam gank junglers Jarvan, Hecarim, and Rek'Sai have all been nerfed, I'm noticing a lot more tanky picks. You know, I see a lot of Sejuanis, I'm seeing a lot of Trundles, I'm seeing a lot of Amumus, and into those champions, Red Smite is much more rewarding. You know, I feel like I was pigeonholed into going Blue Smite last patch because I had to keep up with the gank meta, but now that the gank meta is starting to fade out, I think Red Smite is starting to get value again. And then after that, we're just obviously, you want to get boots, and then if you're behind, you can go Sterex, but I'm going to be honest, I usually always go Triforce. The components you're going to look to do is Stinger, Phage, Sheen. That's the order I buy my Triforce, and then after that we're looking to go, you know, attack or armor or magic resist depending on the enemy team comp. And then, you know, once you get to 5 items, so whether or not you go magic resist or armor, it doesn't matter. Once you're at 5 items, I usually finish out the Tiamat, and then I look to get Ravenous Hydra. I'm telling you, Ravenous Hydra plus Ravenous Hunter, this makes me feel like, you know, Season 3 Udyr again with Lifesteal on your turtle. You heal for so much of your health bar. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've won fights that I should not have won just because the amount of healing you get is insane. And on top of that, you have really good one-shot potential because by this point in the game, you're going to get your 18 attack damage from Eyeball Collection. You're going to have Press the Attack procs. You're going to have a Ravenous Hydra proc. You're going to have Triforce procs, and you're also going to have a ton of attack damage. So 5 items, I'm going to be honest, like, you feel like a beast. You're going to be a little bit slow since we don't have Celerity Water Walking, but the damage output is insane. And then as for last item, it really is up to you. I usually go Guardian Angel or another defensive item, like Spirit Visage, for example. So this is the build. This is the clear path. These are the 9.9 changes to Udyr. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to be honest, the YouTube comment section is a little bit cluttered as of late. I feel like I've got a lot of people that, you know, a lot of haters. So the best place to reach me is on my Twitch. I feel like we've got a pretty chill community over there. So just make sure to, you know, whenever you get into the stream, put at @WillieP and ask me the question, and I'll do my best to answer it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate y'all being here. And hey, thank you so much. But before we go, I do briefly want to mention, I know this is kind of tagged on at the end, but quarterback.gg. In the description below, click on the link to join my quarterback club. It is a super cool app that allows you to earn points towards skins. And on top of that, I'm going to be honest, we've been growing insanely fast. This is my first month being sponsored by the app. And I'm going to be honest, we have almost 200 people now. We're already ranked Division 2, which is really good because we're competing against some very big streamers. So make sure to join and make sure to just play simple challenges like most CS, max kills, stuff like that. And that's all you have to do. It's like very straightforward, and you can earn points towards skins. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you know me, I'm playing just for the ego. So go join that. Big shout out to them for sponsoring me. Super, super cool of them. So yeah, catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.